Fox show is gonna be on the red carpet doing her Xavia Fox red carpet thing.
Hey everybody! Yeah! Oh, you can't win if you're not in the game. Give me a beat. Hey everybody! Welcome to Xavia Fox Talks, and I am still your host, Xavia Fox. Today we are on part 2 of the men's panel, and today they're talking about us women today, and you know they got a lot to say. They've been in here talking about us already. I'm gonna tell on them. They've been talking about us already. They said the women's panel had a lot to say because we always got a lot to say. Can you believe that? Do we have a lot to say? I guess I shouldn't be talking since I'm always the one talking, right? But anyway, we have a new addition to our panel today. He came highly recommended. So I'm going to just quickly let Mr. Harvey
Harvey J is cool.
Okay, he's going to introduce himself to you. Just tell us, if you're married, single, player, what you're doing, and advertise if you got a business or whatever you want to say real quick.
All right, how y'all doing? My name is Harvey J. I'm dating someone right now. I got a catering business, carsnastygourmetbbq.com. I'm a former high school teacher out of Inglewood. I was the IT director for the Village of Dalton for 5 years, so I kind of know politics, I kind of know the street, and I know a little bit about food, and of course, ladies.
Ha! He think he knows something about ladies.
I said something.
We gonna show him at face to face what he know about ladies,
just
right, ladies? All right, well, we're gonna let the men get started. And so the first question of the evening was picked out by Mr. Harvey J himself, and it's, what is one piece of advice you give to a woman who desires a relationship or marriage? You're about to give us one piece of advice, ladies. Pay attention.
So there's several, but one of them that sticks out to me, I know the guys probably can attest to this. Leave your friends out of it. Leave your friends out of it. I mean, if you see a guy that you dig in, or y'all got something going on, don't consult with your girl all the time. Just go with your feelings, your mind, and your heart, and let that all become one. Like last night, I'm out at a small social gathering, so a young lady thought I was attractive. I thought she was attractive as well. She was a little older than I was, but it was her sister and about 7 of her girlfriends. So for me to talk to her, I had to get interviewed by her panel. Approval. Right. I mean, what is this? I mean, she's 47 years old. I'm 35, so I'm like, okay, what part of the game where you should have figured this out already that you don't need your girls to roll with you? Just like if me and one of the homies got something on the table, we go like, you know what, bro? I can't hoop tonight. I can't catch the game. I'm with a lady, but she want to introduce me. Well, we all gonna come to your house and taste your barbecue. I said, I'm only interested in one. I don't want the old grandma. I don't want the fat auntie. I want you. You know what I'm saying? But it was just overwhelming that in this day and age that you still need your girlfriends to approve. Now, the ones who always got the most to say, she was nobody. The 2 ladies who said the least were married, so I kind of respected that. But the other one, the most vehemently loud one, was single. Of course, single. Am I right? They always single.
Never fails.
They always single.
Why do you think that you got to get interviewed? Because I'm sure all of us have had that experience. Why do you think they do that?
I think personally, and I talk about this all the time with amongst my other guys. They interview because they're like, well, hey, if she don't like him, I might kind of find myself digging this guy. So I think that's part of the backside to that interview. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it, because I've been in a lot of situations where, she'd have made me, or kind of like, nah, that ain't the one for you, but on my way out, you just slipped me your card. You just slipped me your number. So, I mean, what's the real motive behind your interviewing? Right. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, her little sister, and she was willing to talk for it as well. Like, well, we got to come check out your house and what kind of car you drive and all like this. I said, man, I drive a bus. So now what? And she's like, well, we could work with that. And so, I mean, it was just...
I've seen different cases, though. Like,
yeah.
Some women pretty much know their girl, and know their girl making a lot of dumb decisions. Like, I've seen women be with that girl that will go home with a guy that first night, every single time they go out. So they kind of got to rein her in at times, like, okay, is she going to go home with this guy now, But we all been there, though. We all got interviewed,
Of course.
What school did you go to? You got kids, you know.
But do that make you feel uncomfortable?
Not necessarily. You know, it gets to a point where it has to be cut off. You know what I mean? Initially, I can understand we getting involved, but for me to actually go forward with talking with that young lady, man, her friends are literally ultimately have to back off.
Have to back off.
Not only that, but she got to say something.
Yeah,
but she never does. She never says nothing. She's like, well,
but see, because to me, I'm like, if you don't say nothing and there is some interest, if you don't say nothing, maybe I don't need to be with you because you letting people just run what's going on here.
Yeah.
You know.
See, what I think it is, I just think it's a lack of confidence in her decision making, and so she need everybody else to co-sign.
Right.
Because it's like a lot of times when you have people or women who will ask you for advice, it's because they feel in a certain way, but they don't have any confidence in it. I personally, I can't stand an interview. If you ain't about to give me some, I don't need you to even talk
give
to
me a job or something.
You know, unless y'all talking about everybody going home together, why you need to talk to me?
Right, why do you give a shit?
So I don't even understand it. You just make your decision. You grow.
Well, he just described the rest of them. You want to go home with all of them?
Man,
But my point is, if they all ain't trying to go,
right,
then you don't need to talk to me about it.
Right.
So I mean, I could understand if after the fact that we start dating and then I start meeting, but for somebody I'm not interested in to try to start interviewing me, like she gonna date me, please. It just shows a lack of confidence for me. I just think, you know what, she's not secure in what she wants and how she feels about something, so she needs her friends to co-sign. If you need that, I could pass.
Right, but the bottom line, we all grown, we all adults, so she shouldn't need to prove. It's like, okay, we all adults, we done made some fucked up decisions. I mean, if we haven't learned from them decisions, then continue to fall on your face. I don't need okay to keep picking me up, let me know to keep picking me up. It's like, all right, Harvey, you gonna figure shit out one day. So let her keep falling on her face.
The guys are different though. We don't really have it. You know,
Yeah.
we was sending our boy home with just about any and everything.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then she busted, we probably just gonna laugh at him.
Oh, yeah.
You was scarred last night.
Yeah,
man.
we was scarred up.
With that spider monkey, man.
And not only that, but if one of your boys would do something like that, you'd be like, nigga, get off me. Why you block it? Like,
Yeah,
'cause that's just not,
Right.
at least that's just not in our nature to do that. You know what I'm saying?
And the problem is that most of the time, the person they asking is the person who's wrong. It's the person who's gonna give them the worst advice anyway. Like he said, the two married women are the women who wasn't speaking. The ones who's single, obviously they not choosing right themselves.
Right.
Why you asking them?
The married ones know not just to stay out of it.
They know it.
They know better. They know to stay the hell out of it, let her make her own decision.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But you always got, women tend to go out with that gatekeeper.
Like I said, my one piece of advice is leave your girls out of it, please. Leave them alone.
My piece of advice is stay to what it is you truly desire, and just stick to that. For instance, if it is you desire to be in a relationship or you desire to be married, you stay true to that. You don't agree to be somebody's booty call, hoping that after the 6th month or the 7th month that he's gonna all of a sudden wife you. Because the truth is that it's very unlikely he is gonna wife you. I mean, if you a booty call, you've given me everything I want.
Yeah.
Why do I need to change that?
Yeah, true.
I mean, and especially if you are sitting there and you want a monogamous relationship, it's most likely that you'll only be having sex with me. If that's what you desire, you're not gonna go and you're not gonna date other men most likely. You're gonna sit up there, you just gonna pretty much have sex with me. So while you sitting up there only having sex with me, I'm gonna leave my options open. And most likely, maybe I might dip here, or maybe I might dip there, or go on dates while you're sitting up here being faithful to somebody who's not being faithful to you. And so you giving all of your energy to that. So you give me moral support. If I need something, you gonna be there. If I need somebody to cook, you gonna be there because what you truly desire is that situation. So you give me everything I need, and I don't even have to be true to you. Why do I change that? That's that benefit. I don't see the point.
Keeping where you meet.
You work smart. Don't work hard. If I ain't gotta work hard, why would I do that?
Right.
So I think that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, If you want it, you stay true to that. You don't agree to anything less than that. And you can't be afraid to get your feelings hurt. If he says he don't want it, then you walk away. There's another guy gonna come, especially if you're attractive. So I don't see the point.
And you know what? To that point, as far as like staying true to you and how you feel, that kind of goes back to what you were saying. Make sure it's you, and make sure it's not a theory or a philosophy that your whole crew have shared. You know, make sure it's truly you. It's what you want. One piece of advice I would give is set realistic expectations that you will actually even put upon yourself. You know, it's amazing, like some of the women that I've talked to, not necessarily just dating, but just friends and acquaintance. You know, you hear them rattle off this laundry list of things that they expect in a man, and that's cool if that's what you really want, you know, but one, make sure it's a realistic expectation, and then two, you know, what are you willing to return? You know, nowadays, fine and having a fat ass is really not enough. At least not for me. I can't speak for every man, but
like default standard.
That's not enough for me. But if
default.
I mean,
right,
everybody got ass and titties
especially
now.
with injections.
Yeah, everybody got ass and titties now.
Pads.
Right.
But real talk, like if you have this list of things that you truly feel like you need as a woman to make your life happy or fulfilled, just make sure it's realistic, and if it is, then hey, so be it. But also be willing to return and give those things back.
Right.
It's nothing like, I think it's the worst thing when somebody asks me to do something, and this is just in life period, but especially if I'm dating, ask me to do some shit that you ain't willing to do. And then it's like, it's not even so much ask. Let me take that back. It's not necessarily ask. It's a demand. Like, how dare you? Like, how dare you ask me to do something that your ass ain't gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Or can't do.
Right.
So, you know, just set realistic, fair expectations. And, you know, if you meet somebody that's also fair and share some of those same views, then you're good.
I definitely agree with you on that, you know, because oftentimes women, they want a certain type of guy. But you understand something, that's a good guy you're looking for. You're looking for a good woman. So if you're not a good woman, you're not gonna come correct. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants somebody good, but they don't like, am I really good? You gotta match yourself up with that individual. You know, you can't just say, well, I want me a good guy. Okay, then what are you gonna bring to the table, like you said? You know what I mean? I want a guy that's degreed up, but you barely got out of high school. You know what I mean? I want a guy to make 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't even got no job. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are out there, but understand it's gonna come with a price. Right? Because if I'm a millionaire, say like I'm Michael Jordan, you know, his wife his whole NBA career. He can fly a woman from here to there and do the same thing the next day.
Right.
It's nothing to him. But if you got that plumber guy who working 2 or 3 jobs to hold it down, he less likely, if he giving you his bread, it's more genuine. You know what I mean?
Right. But it's not to knock the plumbing guy either. You know.
No, I ain't knocking. What I'm saying is that he worked hard for his money. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So he can't. If he gonna spend it, he gonna spend it wisely
Right.
on somebody that's worthy. And a guy like Michael Jordan. I'm not saying Michael Jordan per se, but a person with multi-millions of dollars can say, hey, you know, I'll fly 10 girls a week to Paris and make them feel special to get what I want. So oftentimes you got women that say, oh, I want a good guy, I want a good guy, I want a good guy, but they date the opposite.
They date the opposite.
They date the opposite. They're kind of like what you said, you know.
That's because what a good guy is the way it's defined nowadays. It's just so bogus and skewed. So
Yeah, it is. It is.
But and kind of to his point, I mean, you know, a guy who has a lot of money or a lot of money to spend, you know, him taking you to, let's say, Ruth's Chris is like, you know, somebody else taking you to McDonald's. Right. I mean, it don't mean anything. But I think that from a lot of women's perspective is that they look at, you know, expenditures as a way of a person showing love. They don't look at what the expenditure actually means to the person who's doing it. And that's where they go wrong at, is that they don't look at it as how it means to me. You know, for instance, when he was saying the thing about the plumber, you know, if he's spending his money means a lot more to him than it would to some millionaire. So it means something to him to do this. You know, somebody who got some money, you know, it's nothing. It's kind of like a guy who, there are guys who are really charming, really good with words. They can come up and they can charm the mess out of you, give you compliments and this, that. But they may have given you that compliment and gave 5 other women that compliment the same way. There are some guys who, you know, they only compliment, you know, when it really means something, if they're really telling you the truth. So I think that's the thing that that a lot of women don't actually differentiate, is that it's not necessarily the act, it's what the act means to the person who's doing it that's most important. So,
yeah, I was about to say
Like you said, your expectation thing. You know, oftentimes you got women out here, they come at a guy differently. You know what I mean? If you want a relationship with a guy, don't sit there and have sex with him the first night, the next night, and every night after that, and only give it up when he calls you. You know what I mean? Relationships or marriage, there's certain things a couple do before they, you know, when they move towards marriage. You can tell. Family dinners, you know what I mean? Trips.
Yeah.
They do other things outside of the bedroom, but if you just met somebody at the club and the only time y'all hang out, y'all bumping uglies first night, you know what I mean? He, in his mind, is like, this is what this is, you know what I mean? This is what this is what it's gonna be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because every guy, we all, women, y'all need to know this. We all want that one lady in the street but a freak in the bed, but we often know that really don't exist, especially as married men.
I hope your wife don't see that.
It is what it is. But
it's a few out there, but that's a whole nother.
But you know, but the point is that I didn't marry my wife to be a freak. You know what I mean?
Right.
I married her because this is my life partner. You know, I enjoy doing things with her. If I wanted that freak, it'll be somebody else. You know what I mean? And a freak come with a whole lot of problems.
Sure do.
Baby mamas, debt. You know what I mean? Stress, drama, all those things I'm staying away from. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused on my business and I'm focusing on my family. That's what my focus is. But like I said, some men, some men who don't want to get married, they looking for those freaks every night. You know what I mean? Last night I worked at a nightclub and I'm just watching and observing. Now you can tell the guys that's out there on the prowl, and you can tell the women that's out there on the prowl. It's a two-way street. Women always say all men want is one thing, and that's another mistake y'all make in the kind of relationship. Thinking that every man is alike.
Right.
I mean, you can't just paint people with a brush. I tell people all the time, it depends on the narrator who's telling the story. You know what I mean? I don't date men, so I can't sit here and tell you how it feels to be treated bogus by a man. I don't know. But you know, that's my thing.
But I will say this: we do want that.
Oh yeah.
I'm sitting here like, I don't know. It's like, at least right now in my life I do. You know, when I'm like 40, 50, who knows? It may change up. But right now,
Another mistake is they, I know we dragging his own, but another mistake is they think we some kind of autonomous robots that I don't know, it's like, we got feelings too. That's how we able to discern when we go out to the club who we can sleep with on the first night, who just had a relationship. Me and we can sense that. So if I feel like I want to bust a chick down, my inner gut tell me where to go with that.
Hey, what you mean by you say a robot?
I mean, just a robot. Just like we all just like boards. We cookie cutter. We all cookie cutter the same, but
we all wired the same.
We all wired the same. I mean, whatever, physically, yeah, but I mean, like, all 4 of us go out together and we all come like this collective board. We gonna hunt. I mean, that's what we on, and we gonna sense out who we gonna smash that night.
But he may use a bow, I may use a gun, I may, you know.
But the bottom line is to get the kill of the score.
Right. Different ways.
I mean, and so they have to tell themselves that these guys are actually hunted. They have feelings that they can use. We do have feelings. I mean, we just don't use them all the time.
Let me be clear though. When I say that, I do want that. Don't get it twisted. You gotta understand something. I'm old enough to know that comes with a consequence. A consequence that I'm not at this stage in my life prepared to deal with. You know what I mean? Especially I have 2 daughters. I gotta think differently than most people. You know what I mean? The older you get, it's only so long you can pretend, man. Really. And you can just bang a girl every night till you 50, 60 years old. You're gonna wake up one day with nothing to show for it. Because it's gonna cost you more.
That's true.
It's gonna cost you a whole lot more. You know, take it from me, it will. And trust me, there's a consequences, man. Babies. It's not getting twisted. It's only a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? You keep going out there like that. I ain't trying to scare y'all, but it's a possibility. You know what I mean? But here's the thing though. You know what I'm saying? My granddaddy told me the definition of a man is being able to deal with your consequences. You can do what you want to do as a man, but I can say I want to rob a bank. I can't land in jail and start pointing my fingers and blaming everybody. That's the consequences of my action. So if I'm laying down with a woman and the baby comes about, that's my consequence. I got to own up to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And trust me, anybody who got a baby mama, that's a headache every single
I'm sure.
day.
Yeah.
I got a wife and a baby mama. Come on, man.
That reminds me, I got to go to Walgreens tonight, Joe.
Absolutely. Why you think I
That reminds me, I got to stop off at Walmart.
Yeah.
Get them helmets.
My point is,
Golden tickets.
I'm still a man. I still have the same desires as everybody else.
Then
But
my mama go see this.
I gotta think of my big head versus my other big head.
Yeah. Y'all funny.
Yes.
You're gonna think with the big head instead of the
Other big
big head. We are in a wonderful barbershop called Techniques. We're right here at 1575 East Sibley with a wonderful owner, Mr. Marcus Davis. He has been gracious enough to let us film here. It's a wonderful spot. Make sure you check it out if you need a haircut. Or he has a beauty shop right on the other side. So he can take care of you no matter what you need going on. I love the controversy.